Welcome to The Truth Unfiltered. Did you know that the 1952 McCarran-Walter Act existed and included provisions, such as Chapter 2, Section 212, that allow for the exclusion of aliens associated with organizations seeking to overthrow the U.S. government by force, violence, or other unconstitutional means? The Act consolidated naturalization laws, codifying the process for becoming a U.S. citizen. It maintained requirements such as residency, good moral character, and knowledge of U.S. history and government. It allowed the denaturalization of citizens found to have engaged in subversive activities. The Act expanded grounds for deportation, including criminal activity, fraud, or violation of immigration laws. It allowed for the exclusion of immigrants based on ideological beliefs, health conditions, or likelihood of becoming a public charge. The 1965 Act, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson on October 3, 1965, changed the 1952 McCarran-Walter Act limitations by introducing Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. Oh, New York City, how fast have you forgotten?
Watching. We've been reporting that all flights within, as we look at these pictures, I'm going to turn it over right now to our congressional correspondent from Pennsylvania, around the Philadelphia area, not exactly where that
appropriate security precautions. Terrorists who understand the way that our government goes about monitoring this instance, that they bypass the normal.
Take on another shot.
Spiritual battle is coming to the West, and the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life. And the American way of life is very simple. I want to be able to get married, buy a home, have kids, allow them to ride their bike till the sun goes down, send them to a good school, have a low crime neighborhood, not to have my kid be taught the lesbian, gay, transgender garbage in their school, while also not having them have to hear the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day. That's important. We want the American way of life, which is, by the way, Christendom. Christians, our sacrifice, our toil, our vision, the outgrowth of the scriptures gave us Western civilization. And this is where I think is a great rallying cry. Doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're black or white. Everybody, if you are Christian and Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, these two threats are combining forces to come after us, and it's time that the church stands and rises up against it.
Yep. Let me just stress that again. Zohran Mamdani's official public position is the laws of this country and the will of the American voter that elected Donald Trump are shit to him. And he will do whatever he can to make sure the people who broke those laws and spat in the face of Americans are protected. Now, the problem is Republicans are cowards and jellyfish who won't actually enforce the law as it was written and codified for these reasons. Tom Homan's great. But I got to say as well, when Brad Lander physically attacked cops and they arrested him, they didn't bring any charges against him. That's the problem with Republicans. The Trump DOJ said this guy intentionally obstructed ICE proceedings and actually physically resisted arrest and fought with cops. Oh, well, let him go. And you know what? So be it. So don't be surprised if whatever the Constitution says about your belief in the First Amendment becomes nothing, because these people certainly don't agree with your view.
I get it.
You'll have blasphemy laws in 2 seconds.
October 2025, we are face an imminent threat on the United States constitutional republic by Islamist and communist running on the Democrat ballots.
Mamdani is practicing taqiyya.
1,000%. 1,000%.
He's presenting
the Muslims are laughing at you guys. Like, this is the funniest thing. Like, dude, give it 50 more years, entire New York's gonna be Muslim, and then before you know, it's gonna be Sharia courts, and then like y'all are. It's like it's like shooting yourself in the foot. Like I can't even believe. And like you see Europe, you look at Europe, it's happening right now, and then you're like, oh, let's just do it here in New York. Like it's like no, like you have to stop. Like Obviously, Taqiyya is working, and they're doing an amazing job at it, and they're fooling everyone. Like, and all the Muslims are like so happy that's happening. Like, this is the best thing that could happen in Islam, and he's gonna win because we're too stupid. Like, no matter how many times ex-Muslims will say Taqiyya is a real thing, they are lying to you. They will take over within 100 years. No one's gonna listen because we just assume that our God is the same as their God. We just assume that their God will tell them not to lie, but their God tells them to lie. That's the difference.
But are you saying, could it be that someone like a Mamdani, he's Muslim, he's a practicing Muslim, self-professed, you know, he avowed, that's what he is. But maybe in the back of his mind, he's like, yeah, I'll be practicing Muslim and I'll tolerate other people. But the more he leads, the more for him to practice, he has to dominate. But that, I mean, I'm just saying, could it be in the back of his mind, there's a duplicity in his own mind where he doesn't realize that he is he's not intentionally practicing Taqiyya, is what I'm saying. Or you think, no, it's like, this is a strategy.
I don't think you realize how bad it is. I don't think, like, they talk about it openly. Like, they'll literally be like, guys, we have to go out and say, like, we love the gays so that we can take over the West, and then as soon as we take over, we'll kill.
And the true believer knows that none of this is in vain, that this is all jihad, that this is all ibadah, and that this is all counted for by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so the conversation of doxing, the conversation of getting arrested and suspended, I think it's time for Muslims to start to say, all right, so what? Do what you want. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, because it's about time to do that. And I know everybody has their own families and has an education and everything. Just a question. We don't want to get doxxed, and we don't want to get suspended, and we don't want to get arrested. How gangsta are you? That's just my question. How much are you willing to do it? And I know everyone has their own risk levels, but at the end of the day, that's a question to ask ourselves. How committed am I to this? To what extent of my personal material gains am I willing to sacrifice for this bigger noble cause? And subhanAllah, I truly believe that when your heart is in the right place, if you get suspended, if you get doxxed, because it's bound to happen when you're doing a righteous cause and when you're doing something for the sake of Allah here in the West, it will never ever be in vain. And the true believer does not fear that, because the true believer knows that the akhirah is a
the badges of the pigs!
We read the badges of the pigs!
So to the Rahmans and the Muhammads!
To the Rahmans and the Muhammads!
To the Alis and the Abdullahs!
To the Alis and the Abdullahs!
To the Rafids!
To the Rafids!
To the Rafids!
To the Rafids!
To the pigs!
To the pigs!
Who can call themselves by the name of Islam?
Who can call themselves by the name of Islam?
To the Muhammads!
To the Muhammads!
Put some respect on that name!
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 La ilaha illallah!
We as Muslims want to implement here in the United States. We believe the Constitution should be replaced by the Quran.
First move that I will do, I will abolish the Constitution and I will establish the only logical and rational Constitution, which is the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
When it comes to spreading Islam on a state level, on a societal level, that method prescribed is jihad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed that the ones who don't accept the ruling of Islam, they must be fought. This is simply the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
What is Sharia law? Yes. You denounce it though. I'm asking you. I'm running. I know, but I'm like, if you catch the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. You denounce that. What is Sharia law?
I come from a political tradition Donald Trump describes as the enemy within. We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
That's Sharia law. What does Sharia law have to do with this? You denounce it, though. I'm asking you. I'm running. I know, but that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. Do you denounce that? What is Sharia law?
Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Eid Mubarak.
The platform is that every single person should have housing. And I think faced with these two options, the system has hundreds of thousands of people unhoused, right? For what? And if there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now.
Hey, Mega, it's time that you learn Sharia law. Now that we Muslims are slowly taking over your country, starting with New York, soon, inshallah. And then not only are we taking over your country, we're bringing in communism. So you better get used to the idea of giving up your money and share it with the poor. And yeah, just a few things you gotta know about Sharia law. No more pork, so that shit has to go. Then you're gonna have to pay some sort of tax for being non-Muslim, of course. And yeah, so it's time to learn some Arabic, and time to put your wives in burqas, because that's going to be next. So so welcome to the Islamic State of America.
Look, the Mamdani thing is it's a disaster waiting to happen. We can't have a communist in charge of a great, supposedly free enterprise, kind of a representative city. So I think if you have a communist mayor, I think it's going to be very tough for him and for the city.
Do you think he should have put something like this so close to the election?
Oh, I think it's a shame that that particular man is endorsing him and very friendly with him. You can see there's a relationship. He blew up the World Trade Center, right?
And Mr. President,
didn't the man you're talking about blow up the World Trade Center? And he's friends with Mamdani?
Mr.